Welcome back to Stoic Plays, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and today we're playing Unclaimed World, a planetary settlement simulator by Refactored Games. It is not a new game, and you might have heard of it or played it before. It was released in Steam Early Access in March 2014, but as of today, when this video is going to go live, October 4th, 2016, the game is going gold. Now, I'm recording this obviously before that, so I'm still playing the beta version, but I'm having a lot of fun. And on paper, you'd think this is the kind of game that Marcus would love. You start off with a bunch of hard-scrabble dirt farmers, basically, and try to build a thriving settlement where the people are happy and don't leave. And it is incredibly difficult to do, let me tell you. The game kind of reminds me of the TV series Firefly, in that it's outer space colonization, but kind of dirty and grimy. It's not all Star Trek blasters and teleports. It's more like the Wild West and people running around with crude spears trying to fight off alien beasts and farming potatoes and just trying to survive. And I love it. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the idea of it. And let's give it a look, shall we? So there's a number of different scenarios, but to be perfectly honest with you, I am terrible at the game if you go into like a straight up scenario and just try to survive. I can't even feed my colonist. So instead, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do the clay pit to kind of show it off to you. It's a tutorial, but it's open-ended and it's a lot of fun. It's not like your typical tutorial, and we might go fast through some of the tutorial stuff that I don't need to know, but there's some stuff that's probably good for me to remind myself of. But the whole purpose of this particular scenario is you are literally dirt farmers. You're a bunch of poor people who have started their own settlement far away from the main town in order to make bricks out of mud, which you are then going to export back to your town for money so that you can buy things like food and things you need to live. To explain the whole concept of the game itself, basically, Earth had a natural disaster, which scared everyone, thinking, oh gosh, the human race could potentially get wiped out. So they send off this ship full of colonists to a habitable planet that they found way out there, and it took them 100 years in suspended animation to get there. However, by the time they arrived, Earth had kind of moved on, and everybody was just lost in virtual reality, and nobody really cared about the colonists anymore, so these poor people had to basically fend for themselves. And some of the best of them went down to kind of scout out the area, and they were killed by alien beasts. So everybody else just kind of had to survive how they may. And the game takes place later than that. I don't know exactly how much later, maybe 100 years or so. And they've regressed kind of to Wild West style technology. I mean, you're fighting with spears, you're making clay ovens. It's definitely not futuristic. So it's a lot of fun. And let's get started. I guess I could turn off the tutorial, but I might forget to do something, so I'm actually going to leave it on. Because again, I'm pretty bad at this game. So, but again, the purpose is you're supposed to farm clay bricks. And this tutorial kind of teaches you how to go about doing that. I just love the aesthetic too. I love the art style. So let's pause real quick. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get set up. You already have places to sleep, luckily, and you already have a port, which can import things as well as export things. So really, the first step is just to gather basic resources. And I wonder if this is a tutorial, so it's going to pop up eventually. Yeah, there's a little kind of story mode. Okay. So the first goal that I have is to build a kiln. And it kind of tells you how to do that. But I pretty much know how to do that. So we're going to go to production. We're going to go to storage production. No, actually. Miscellaneous? No. Okay, maybe I don't know. Wouldn't be under shelter. Oh, right, never mind. I have to go to attainable, which lets you know everything you can build, not just the things you can currently build. So in this case, I want a kiln. So you look at a kiln, and you click on it, and it'll tell you what materials you need for it. You can pin this if you want to save it. In this case, I need 4 clay and 1 stone. So let's start on that. You right-click anywhere to close the window, and you just go ahead and select the whole area as a, I guess you'd call it just a selection area. And then I'm going to do gather, and I'm going to get 4 clay and 1 stone. And while I'm at it, let's get some firewood. And I don't think we need sticks at this time. So when you do that, you basically set a work order, which by clicking this, you can see what your work orders are. I'm gathering clay, stones, and firewood. And they go about doing that. And you can also tell them to explore areas, to examine things. And the mini-map can give you tips, too. So, for example, say we need clay. So I go to Raw Materials, and I check clay, and the mini-map will show you, and also the regular map, every place that you can get clay. And there's quite a bit. Now, instead, say if I wanted to know where to find spoke branches. Well, there you can see they're all down here. And the trees themselves kind of highlight, if you can see that. So it's a very complicated UI, but if you know how to use it, which I only partially do at this point, it tells you everything you need to know. Alright, so I can build my kiln now. So let's do it. And someone's going to take care of that. Now we came with plenty of food this expedition, so this tutorial is not so much about gathering food. When you run out of food, you just get it to be traded. However, you can make food. Over here, off the map, there's a particular kind of tree that you can make some kind of breadfruits, and you can also cook potatoes on your campfire. Which we already have one, so we go to prepare food. I could make common oil tubers or mashed oil tubers, which are food items, and we'll make those when we start getting hungry. And you can speed the game up to 2x or 4x speed. So let's go ahead and speed it up to 2x until this kiln gets built. Actually, since a lot of people are sitting around, let's just go ahead and get a jump on gathering clay. Let's just get it all. 46. Actually, we only need 40 bricks at first, so let's do 40. All right. And this is, what's this? This is nothing. Let's get rid of that. All right, so they can start gathering the clay, the ones who aren't building the kiln. Now, you can make clay bricks without a kiln, but the kiln makes it go faster. And you can see they're getting to work on that. And you can change different priority levels. Like, for example, you can make the kiln high priority. And you can also set certain tasks, like hauling, as high priority too. Alright, looks like he's working on the kiln. And you can see what your people are doing by clicking on him. Alright, this fence apparently protects us from things called patricians, which I assume are some kind of alien beast. So you can look at your people, and they all have names. You can't rename them. At least I haven't found a way to do so, which makes me kind of sad, but it is what it is. And you can see that most of them are harvesting or hauling. Okay, the kiln is ready. So now it's telling me what I just told you, that you can make bricks in the sun, but it's better to do it in the kiln. So now we want more clay, which we're getting, and firewood, which we're going to get down here. Let's get 9 of it. This is as much as we can get for right now. So somebody will go down there and do that. As you can see, Sato, Rear, and Tessar and Pierce are going down to do that. And it looks like Lee, too. Everybody's doing it. Wow. Apparently they're not big fans of the clay. So we're going to gather 10 clay, 10 firewood, and then we're going to make 3 mud bricks. That's our current task. So let's go to 4x while all the gathering is happening. And you can kind of see where you're at in terms of materials by going to the production order again and taking a look at materials components. So you can see here we currently have 26 clay and 10 firewood. So actually we have enough to make some mud bricks. Let's make 28 mud bricks, which you do from this screen here. And then once you have the mud bricks, you can do things with them. Clay jars, clay pots, but we're going to make regular mud bricks. And again, you can, like for example, mud bricks, I can click on this, I could pin it, and then I can move this anywhere on the screen so that when this screen here is closed, I'll know right off the top how many mud bricks I have. So when this goes up to 3, it will have a little button here, which will allow me to make fired mud bricks. Let's go back to 4x. See, now we have 1, 2. Oh, and one thing I want to do, actually, in addition to that, is to make it easier to make mud bricks faster. You have something called a... Where is it? Maybe it's a miscellaneous? No. It's a particular item. It's a tool. Ah, brick mold. There you go. So that more people can work on making bricks at the same time. We need sticks for that. So let's do a quick little search here. New, gather, and sticks. So let's do 3 sticks. One thing I learned is you don't want to gather too much stuff at once because then nothing will get done. It'll just be moving so slowly. So we do have the capacity now to make regular mud bricks. So let's make 3. And we just leave this here and use it when we need to. Again, the UI, incredibly complicated, but incredibly useful once you've got it figured out. And then here you can look and see what, in this particular sector, what exists there. All of our colonists, what animals, structures. Mostly you're going to be looking at resources and plants. Of course, they completed the job, it looks like, so it went away. Which means someone got the sticks. Which means we can go here now, and we can make, I say, 2 more brick molds is all we need. Alright, as you can see, we're producing a ton of mud bricks, and you can click on these, oops, you can click here to get more details. What is it saying? Tools owned but currently in use. Yeah, we can only make a couple at a time. That's fine. They'll do what they need to do. 4x. So we just keep doing that until we have 10. We can continue making more regular bricks in the kiln. And eventually we're going to want to make another kiln. Alright, so the next step we have to do is we are moving these mud bricks over to the port. So we want to find the port building here, click on it, and we want to do trade. And then you can select what you want to trade. In this case, we want to trade materials, components, mud bricks. So you just click that, and this means put them all in there. Okay, so we're set up. So now they're going to move the mud bricks to the port. Of course, it's nighttime, so most of them are actually sleeping. As you can see if you look here. Sleeping, 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 sleeping. Only 3 of them are working currently. Eventually, they're going to start getting hungry, and somebody's going to have to cook, too. But you can see the mud bricks kind of piling up, the wet ones. No one's really using the kiln, it looks like. Which is kind of a problem. You know what we should do is probably build a second kiln. Which we can't currently do, probably because we don't have stones. Okay. There's some rocks over... Actually, there's rocks over here. Gather. let's get some stones. 3 is good. Alright, and we can build another kiln. So let's build our second kiln. There. And that'll speed up the process immeasurably. Now, this is very similar kind of in idea to the game. Oh god, now it's totally escaping my mind right now, but just came out. RimWorld. Except RimWorld, as you know, is kind of cartoony in graphic style, and it's a little bit more like Dwarf Fortress 2 because it's procedurally generated and you can interact with your environment. For instance, you can bore through mountains and whatnot and build things. I wish that this game was procedurally generated, so it would basically have unlimited replayability, but due to the complicated nature of the graphics, they have to design each of the maps. Maybe in the future they'll be able to find some way to make it kind of procedurally generated, but for right now, it just isn't. Not that that's a big deal, though, because, again, I can't even survive 5 minutes in the maps they currently do have, so it requires more skill than I'm currently possessing. So there's still plenty of time of gameplay before you would need random maps. And I think it's so cool, the sunlight effects. I mean, that's so neat. Alright, so let's look at the port. And the port currently contains 13 mud bricks. And remember now, we need 14 now. We need 40 of them. We're moving pretty fast, though. Looks like we need some more wet mud bricks. I wouldn't have thought that. Is that production? No, it's miscellaneous? No. Materials. Right. Alright, we can get 8 more of those. Let's do it. And so you see how everybody's starting to get a little hungry? You see the red fork? So let's go over to prepared food, and let's do 4 baked oil tubers and 4 mashed oil tubers. That way someone will do the cooking at the campfire that already exists. Normally, you'd have to build your own campfire, but in this particular mission, it exists just as it is. And are we not gathering clay anymore? Yeah, it looks that that's the way of it. So you scroll by the right mouse button. So let's go out here and try to get some more clay. New, gather. 25 clay. Alright. And there they go. Let's utilize those kilns. I'm terrible at feeding people, but luckily in this mission it doesn't really matter. Once you send out your first batch of bricks, you can import food. Alright, sweet. So we're starting to get some good clay. Which means, of course, that we can start making some more mud bricks. Let's do that. In fact, let's just pin the wet mud bricks too. And just put that here. Perfect. So that we can keep an eye on both the input and the output. And we're currently at 28 in the trading post. I guess you can also look at contains here in this screen, and that'll tell you the same thing. Alright, we seem to be doing pretty well. They sure go through the clay pretty fast, though. Well, you do need one clay per brick, okay. I'm not sure if the clay comes back after a while. Oh yeah, see there's clay all over here. So we can like go here. And new, gather all the clay. And we're at 28 mud bricks. So we're kind of not moving very fast with the mud bricks. Primarily because we are out of clay, but we're getting more. And firewood, I guess, hasn't really seemed to be a problem. We should probably get more of that, though. Let's gather 24 firewood. Excellent. There they go. Off to do that. And you can also explore if you want to, but I'm just kind of taking it to the point where the tutorial's over and it kind of lets you do your thing. So now we can make up to 20 of these. Nothing much is happening though right now because everybody's sleeping. I love the aesthetic. I love the idea of it. You could do something similar to this, like in a fantasy world, but I like the idea that it's colonists of another planet, like that used to have futuristic technology, but now don't. That makes it really neat. 28. So just nothing's happening here. Come on, guys. Please start using our kilns. We should have plenty of raw materials at this point. We have 23 clay and then 25 wet mud bricks. So we're in good shape. What is the... Okay, ordering many single items can take a while to produce. Try to look for ways to produce in larger batches. Not entirely sure how to do that. We could theoretically build a third kiln. That would speed things up. Except, I don't know if right now, I don't know if the bottleneck is people or kilns. I guess it's kilns. Alright. So it looks like we have our 40, or at least we're close. So right now it's going to talk to us about how to create or get a barge, basically, to come pick things up. So let's see if I can do this on my own. Let's see if I remember how to do it. So you go to Arrange Transport. We're going to create a new run, and it's going to start at Tellus. That's where we're selling our things to. And it's going to... It's just going to come. That's it. So then the destination is going to be our clay pit. And it's going to... We're going to add an action here. Okay, maybe not. Tell us the wharf. Yep, clay pit camp. Alright, maybe I do need to look at this tutorial real quick. Create new run. Clay pit, yep. Oh, small barge hired. Alright, let's get on pause here. Because people are sitting around. Small barge hired. Okay, that's good. Okay. Next to clay pit, select add action. Sell. Mud bricks. Yep. All of them. Actually, we need 40 of them, so we're not quite ready yet for this. So we're actually going to cancel the run for a second. And wait till we have exactly 40. That'll be 3 more. And I don't know why people are standing around. There should be plenty to do. 38. 39. 40. Alright. Now we're going to do it. New run. Start. Tellus. Destination. Clay pit. Add action. Sell. 40 mud bricks, or 44. Actually, that's cool. next to Tellus, click Add Action, and then click Buy. Oh yes, we need food. So we're going to get the cheapest food there is, common oil tubers. And there's a limit to how much we can get, though. Because if you'll notice, if we go all the way to 55, it'll say, see, the total cost is 11 of 10. So we're spending too much here. So let's go down to 50. And now we're spending 2 of 10, which is fine. I wish this was a bit easier. Like, I wish when you were in this screen here, adding the stuff, it'd tell you when you go over your monetary limit or whatnot, instead of kind of forcing you to guess. All right, and then we click Start the Run. Oh, small barge. And, oh, now we're out of money because we have to pay for the barge. So we have to go back and let's only get 40 tubers. Is that enough? Yeah, we're good. Let's actually get a couple more. 44. Nope. See what I mean? It'd be nice if just on this screen you could do that. 42. Excellent. Start the run. All right. And you can monitor the run by looking at the world map, which is this button. And you can see here is the boat coming from Tellus. It's moving quite fast up to our clay pit. Let's put these back over here. Okay, so looks like we're running low on clay again. Let's gather all the clay. All right, we can turn that off, looking at the clay. And somebody should also probably gather some more firewood. The boat arrives. All right, so the boat is here, and it's brought our food, which is great. So let's get some firewood. 20 is fine for right now. 19. All right, so that means we should have plenty of prepared food ingredients. Yes, we do. So we can make all manner of baked common oil tubers. Let's make 17, or 20 of them, I mean, and let's make 20 of these. I still don't understand what they mean by this batch stuff, but whatever. It doesn't bother me. But we might want to build another campfire so that cooking happens a bit faster. There we go. Alright, we can go to 4x now, since we have basically everything set up. Alright, and let's continue playing. Why not? That'll be enough, however, for this episode. Next episode, we will continue playing. There's some other options you can do as well. It's not just mud brick farming. There's also a way that you can go up here, fight off the creatures, and start some other productive enterprises. In fact, the tutorial thing was supposed to say what to do there, and I deleted it accidentally, but I can probably still find it. But once again, I hope you're really enjoying the idea of this game. I totally am. It is, of course, getting released on gold version today, October the 4th, 2016, if you want to pick it up on Steam. And it's incredibly difficult, but I find it incredibly rewarding. So once again, that is Unclaimed World by Refactored Games. I'm Marcus Aurelius. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.